This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
Vedanta heaves a sigh of relief, but that's only for a bit. But will the repeat offender shut down its copper plant in Tuticorin? Despite the CBI stepping in, a seventh death threat to Jayalalitha surfaces. AIADMK cadres worry for Jaya's life. A day for us to shower all the attention on elders. Today is World Elders Day. And this is how Rajnikant, the robo, is ruling the box office. Enter and showing in over 2,500 screens today.
No other hero is carrying such a big fan following. It's really a great experience to be in this first show along with the fans.
Well, not just the fans, even the robo crew gets candid about the movie right here on NDTV Hindu.
Want it, come and get it, boy, or are you just a robot toy? I don't want to break you, even though it takes two, kind of like a breakthrough. You don't even need a clue, you be my man's backup.
Well, details of all those stories coming your way. A very good evening, I'm Sai Manish, you're watching the late night news. Let's have a look at what else is making headlines in India and rest of the world. This man is planning to make a comeback on the political stage. Musharraf announces the launching of a new party. Home Minister P. Chidambaram says he is pleased with the people's reaction to the Ayodhya verdict, but the case for that Babri demolition would go on. The 4 policemen in Chhattisgarh who were kidnapped by Maoists are released. Their families heave a sigh of relief. And also the first test match on the first day, Australia struggle after losing 5 wickets to a raging Zaheer Khan. Well, AIADMK-backed Jaya TV today received 2 more death threat letters warning AIADMK chief Jayalalitha against visiting Madurai. Now, the letters are received from southern districts ahead of a proposed Madurai rally. AIADMK Supremo had announced that the proposed Madurai rally would be held on October 18th. This is the 7th time the TV channel office is receiving such death threat letters. The latest death threat warns her against visiting Madurai. AIADMK leaders had taken up the issue to the party Supremo with the Prime Minister and also the Union Minister P. Chidambaram under constant pressure from the AIADMK. Chief Minister M. Karunanidhi had recommended transfer of cases to the CBI. But even just 2 days after that, there's been no letdown in these death threats. Also, Peer Mohammed joined us earlier, our reporter live from the newsroom, to tell us more about the contents of the letter.
Because of continuous death threat letters, and there have been indications that these are not empty threats, and particularly Madurai being the stronghold of M.K. Alagiri, and particularly after Jayalalitha's 2 rallies in Coimbatore and Trichy have been quite successful, because the turnout in these rallies have been a morale booster for the sagging AIADMK cadres. Latest 2 threat letters have been received, one from Kanyakumari district and one from Madurai, both are southern districts. And the letters, in fact, I have a copy of the inland letter which was received today by the Jaya TV office, in which, the clipping in which Jayalalitha says, come what may, I would attend the Madurai rally from the Daily Tandi. That is given, and you will return dead. That kind of Pinamavai. That is the message. This has been the repeated message that the Jaya TV office has been receiving all these 40 days. Again and again the same message is coming. If you come to Madurai, you won't return alive. And also it refers to Rajiv Gandhi's assassination. Also says that if you release these letters to the police or the media, you would be killed. That is this kind of message that threatening not to disclose it to the media is finding place for the first time. And also the other threat letter also has similar dialogues, and particularly after the CBI has stepped in. Right. These death threat letters seem to indicate that they are not empty threats.
On to the big story, another one though. Sterlite, a subsidiary of aluminium company Vedanta, can heave a sigh of relief, at least for now. With the Supreme Court staying the Madras High Court order for closure of Sterlite's copper smelter in Tuticorin, the company is now putting together a strategy that will help save the blushes when the axe does come falling, like it did on its aluminium plant in Niyamgiri in Orissa.
Just when Vedanta's Tamil Nadu subsidiary was getting all set to shut down, comes a reprieve from the Supreme Court of India. Vedanta owns Sterlite's copper smelter in Tuticorin can function till the 18th of October.
We are in the process of compliance with the High Court order, and it's a continuous process plant, and it cannot be shut down immediately. It's not a plant which can be switched off. So, but we are in the process of compliance with the High Court order the last few days. Yeah.
The Supreme Court will now decide the fate of Sterlite's operations in Tuticorin. With the next hearing in 3 weeks, Sterlite will be bracing itself for any eventuality.
So we're not just talking about prospective damage over here, we're talking about historical damage. I mean, the company has been operating for nearly 17 years, haphazardly dumping hazardous waste, letting out untreated effluent waters. So the damage is already done.
Even the Supreme Court Monitoring Committee has maintained that it was astonished at the manner in which the Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board granted clearances to a company which was not only booting all environmental laws, but doing so blatantly and without fear. With Simonish, Jay Santosh for NDTV Hindu.
Well, some respite for Vedanta-owned Sterlite, but this issue has raised a stink on how Vedanta is blatantly disregarding laws in this country. Not just in Odisha, where it's been booted out after an international uproar, but right here in Tamil Nadu as well. Now, here is how Vedanta put profits over people in Tamil Nadu. In 1994, the Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board allowed the setting up of Vedanta-owned Sterlite's copper smelter, thinking it was well situated beyond 25 kilometers from the Gulf of Mannar National Park. When satellite images clearly show that it's located well within 14 kilometers from this ecological hotspot. Then in 1996, despite the dubious permission given to set up a 40,000 ton per annum copper plant, Sterlite expanded its capacity without even a consent or a clearance to 1,70,000 tons of copper anode. That's over 4 times that permission granted to Vedanta-owned Sterlite under the law of the land. And then, of course, one of the biggest violations, despite the Supreme Court Monitoring Committee finding blatant violations by Sterlite, an environmental clearance is given by the Ministry of Environment and Forest, and that too just a day after the Supreme Court Committee leaves Tuticorin after inspection. Not just that, just a few days later, another consent is given to Sterlite to expand its smelting capacities to a massive 3 lakh tons a year. For Vedanta, its action replay Orissa in Tamil Nadu. Like everywhere else, Vedanta has put the cart before the horse. For Vedanta, laws are an impediment to faster growth, so to flout them is good business sense. Whether the highest court of this land will buy that argument will be something that will be keenly awaited. With P. Mohammed, this is Simonish for NDTV Hindu. Well, also noted environmentalist Nityadan Jayaraman joined us a short while to give his perspective on why exactly Sterlite should be booted out of Tuticorin as well.
Regarding the allegation that Sterlite has expanded capacity and expanded production way beyond the prescribed limits, this is a pattern with Sterlite. The law usually plays catch up to make Sterlite's illegalities legal. In the case of Thoothukudi, the company set up within 15 kilometers of the Gulf of Mannar Biosphere Reserve, despite being told specifically that it has to set up 25 kilometers beyond. Right from day one, it has violated the consent condition which stipulated that it is to manufacture only blister copper. It was manufacturing anode copper. While it had licensed capacity or licensed production of 70,000 tons per annum, it is producing more than 1,64,000 tons per annum. While it did not have any permission to expand or set up new production facilities, it went ahead and set up an entirely new anode manufacturing, cathode manufacturing, continuous cast rod plant, oxygen plant, with no permissions whatsoever. And this was subsequently regularized by the Pollution Control Board and the Ministry of Environment. Regarding the other argument that you say that Vedanta is claiming that it is only violating regressive laws, I don't think Vedanta can decide what laws are regressive and what not. Until the laws are in the books, they will have to be followed. Then people can go around saying the Land Acquisition Act is illegal and violate that. I can say the Police Act is illegal and violate that. So where does the buck stop? I don't think it's ever easy to shut an industry, large or small. But then that cannot be used as an industry as a blackmail point. It must be, the company must be made to abide by all the laws. If it is not abiding by the laws, then the law should prevail.
We're slipping into a very short break right now, but Robomania, including this, coming your way. Stay with us.
You want it, come and get it, boy, or are you just a robot toy? I don't want to break you, even though it takes two, kind of like a breakthrough. You don't even need a clue. You be my man to back up.